Britt Miller here. You might notice my background's a little different here. Have my daughter's desk going on right there. We are all getting set up in our basement for like the four of us, my husband, my son, and my daughter, to do like work and homeschooling, like virtual school, and all of that from home. So we all moved, and this is what you get to see in the background of my videos now. So I mean, it's not different. There's plants and it's a white wall. It's like pretty much our house, right? But that's not why I am going live this morning. I wanted to talk to you guys about what you actually need in your brand toolkit to be successful in what you're doing. What I find is that if you have these things and you use them, it cuts down on the time that you spend like creating things in Canva and tweaking your website and stuff like that, like 90%, because it's just all there for you, and it makes it super, super easy. So we're going to talk about that and what you actually need. So I know that you probably have had the experience of like spending hours in Canva trying to come up with like designs for social media or workbooks or, you know, graphics for your website, whatever. We've all been there. We've all spent way too long on things like tweaking them to try and get them to look perfect and professional, but it's actually a huge waste of our time, right? And like, I am a brand developer telling you that is a huge waste of your time. You could be doing so much more things, but you need some things in place before you can like really cut down on that time. So, and like, I've even experienced this where I've like constantly tweaked something to the point where it's just stupid. Like, it's totally stupid and it's totally a waste of your time. You're feeling productive, but you're really just wasting time. And I typically know like it's time for me to rebrand when I'm doing that, because I'm like, this just doesn't feel right for what I'm doing. It doesn't feel like me. So I am giving you guys permission to not do that anymore, okay? And how you avoid it is really simple. So I'm going to go over exactly what you need in your brand toolkit so that you have everything that you need right there and the blueprints for what you're making, so you can cut down on the time that you're like trying to play designer in Canva by like 90%. Like, it's a huge time saver. So checklist, what you actually need in your brand toolkit to be successful. So first off, this is what everybody thinks of when we're talking about brand. People are like, yeah, that's my logo, right? You know, it's a lot of things. Your brand is how people see you. It's like your first impression, and you use these tools to make up your brand, right? So logo, of course, is one of those things. It doesn't have to be super fancy. It doesn't have to be super decorative. That can actually hurt you if it's not well done. I see a lot of people who are just starting who like, you know, want these like illustrations and the watercolors in the background and like all of this stuff. But really, when you're just starting out, especially if this is like your first logo, having your business name in like a really classic, clean, attractive font is probably the best thing that you can do, because it's going to change as your business evolves. So getting crazy fancy and decorative with your first logo is actually a big mistake that people make. So you need the logo. Submarks, I would say you need at least one, because your logo is not always going to fit where you want it to. And sometimes you're just going to want something like a little graphic that you can put at the bottom of a social post to like mark it as yours, right? You can't like put your entire logo in those little spaces. So you need at least one smaller submark. It can be like your business initials, a little graphic, whatever. You need colors. And this would be like starting with hex codes. If you're just starting out, that's what you're going to be using most in the beginning. You're going to plug that into Squarespace. You're going to plug that into Canva. For a color palette, I typically say one like color that's light, one dark, one bright, and a few neutrals. So like, you know, I typically do 5-ish colors: dark, light, bright, and then some neutrals. Those are really all you need. You don't need this like full color palette full of like all these bright colors unless you're doing crazy rainbows, and then like go you. But yeah, you need a dark for like your text and stuff like that. You need a bright for buttons. You want your buttons to like be a bright color and actually attract people's attention and make them want to click it. And then neutrals is going to be things like backgrounds and, you know, stuff that you do. So the next thing you're going to need is fonts. And this is like no brainer for keeping consistency. You need a headline, like something attention grabbing, something that would be like the headline on your website or in a social post or something. You need a subhead, and that's like something that would, you know, still be attention grabbing, but like go under your headline, or, you know, break up a couple paragraphs in a blog. You'll need a body copy. That would be like, you know, when you actually do paragraphs, that's going to be your body copy. And then you can do like a script or a decorative font if like you're really feeling it and it's, you know, if you're like, I have to have this. The next thing you're going to need is stock photos or branded images. You need images. If you don't have your own branded images, grab stock images. And I would think of topics related to your services. Grab pictures of things that your clients like. Find images of what your clients may look like when they're done with your services. If you give people confidence and like you're a confidence coach, like find pictures of women who look crazy confident and are just like living their life, right? Because that's what your clients want to feel. So you should be using those kind of images to be like, hey, look, you can have this. Like, this is what you will look like when you work with me. If you do not have your own branded images like that, Unsplash is great for this. Deposit Photos is another one that's like $1 an image. And you have to search a little bit, but you can find some good stuff on there without spending like $300 on one photo. Next thing is having graphics or patterns. And this is where you can get like a little decorative and have fun with it. This is like lines, patterns, shapes, just some things to add some details and create some interest. Like, you know, it can definitely be part of your brand look if you just have like images with text or, you know, just solid blocks of colors. I actually love designing with big solid blocks of colors and having lots of white space, but you do need to add some details and have some things to break that up a little bit. And then you need a container to house all of those things, right? So this is like your folder structure. So like keeping everything that I just mentioned together in one place. So you can just like click on it easily and grab the things. Because a lot of the time that we're wasting in Canva, we're like, oh, okay, this font, or I don't know, like I gotta go find my logo files, or I gotta go like find those hex codes. So what I like to do is create a style guide right in Canva, and I take all of my brand graphics, like my logos, my patterns, my lines, all of that, and I put it all in one file in Canva. So then when you're working in Canva and you need to create these things, you can just open up that file, copy and paste right there. You can even do that with your fonts. Like go ahead and put your fonts like how they are, the colors they are, the weight, you know, size, all of that in one Canva file all together so that you can literally copy and paste that into a new Canva file. And there's no like, oh, I got to scroll through here. I got to find my headline font. Oh, now I need to find my body copy font. Oh, but the size isn't right. Like, you don't have to do that stuff. You can literally just copy and paste from one style guide that you create in Canva with all of the stuff that I just mentioned and just copy and paste from it. And it is like so quick, guys. Another one, you don't have to have this, but it really cuts down on time. Have some layouts ready to go. This is like your own templates that you use. So like have a couple social post templates, have a couple like Facebook cover photo templates. If you do workbooks or flyers, just have those kind of ready to go with your own fonts, your own colors, your own images, so that when you need to actually make those things, you're not having to make them from scratch. You just save them and then you duplicate it and then put whatever info you need to in that one that you just copied. So you can see how like that takes you from going like spending hours on Canva, messing around with a ton of shit, to just like, oh, look, everything's in one place and already done for me. So I can just do it like that. So like I said, this is important because it's actually going to cut down on your time you spend a whole bunch, and it just turns it into like plug and play. Everything is right there. You just have to put them together. And if you don't have something like this already, I do offer these like all together, all in one place, plus the Canva templates, all of that in the Brand Confident collection. So you can like just go to brandconfidentco.com and grab those. I personally customize them for you. So you are getting a professional designer. Like, guys, my degree is in this. I graduated in 2007. I have been in the design industry since then. Like, I have worked for small agencies. I have worked for large agencies. I worked for printers. I've freelanced. I've done all the things. I'm my own, business owner now. And, I actually customize these for you. So it's not like just getting a random template off Etsy or having somebody from Fiverr do something. You actually get a professional designer customizing it for you. So brandconfidentco.com. And I will post this checklist as well in text form because not everybody watches videos. I know I don't unless I have subtitles, and you're not getting those today. So I will see you guys later and have a fantabulous Wednesday. Bye.